A little sound of the bass F104, which is based here in the 70s and 80s. It'll be one on static.
It's 11 in the morning. The old F104 there. Knockoff. A couple of them.
It's called wing warming, and that's just what Trevor Thompson is doing. Look at that smoke! Is that a gorgeous sight or what, Knoxville? Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you will, please stop wherever you are within the sound of my voice. I want you to remove your caps. If you're in uniform, come to attention as the Ladies for Liberty sing our national anthem.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. When the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in through the night, that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner o'er the land of the
Ladies and gentlemen, the Ladies for Liberty and our national anthem. Nice job, ladies. And Trevor Thompson bringing the flag right in on target. It is now, my ladies and gentlemen, the noses come up on all four as they set up for the famous aeroshell downward bomber Smoke On and burn on. How about a big round of applause for the guys who helped open our show today, the Aeroshell Aerobatic Team with Mark Henley, Brian Reagan, Steve Gustafson, and Jimmy Fordham. They'll be back a little bit later on. But we saw Trevor Thompson bring in the American flag. He was only the first jumper to be working with the U.S. Navy Leapfrogs, and it is now my pleasure to introduce to you the gentleman who's going to tell you all about the show that they're going to be putting on here. He is one of the Leapfrogs. Please welcome Hi Young.
At 70 miles per hour. Help me welcome in our first two jumpers. The U.S. Navy parachute team, the Leapfrogs. I promise they can hear you as they approach the field. Let's give it up. And now we have another downplane. Flying toward Earth at 70 miles per hour. When jumping from 30,000 feet, Navy SEAL canopy. Navy SEALs train extensively in tactical jumping, providing the capability to penetrate enemy lines virtually undetected. They also learn to exit various aircraft with a rucksack containing the mission essential equipment, including an assault rifle, a sniper rifle, and oxygen system for high altitude jumps. Help me welcome in our next two jumpers. Please continue the applause. Keep your voices raised.
Turn down for what? Hey, Frank, can you hear me, partner? I got you. This is the inside-outside Cuban 8, and oh, you're getting thrown out of the cockpit, Greg. You got that right. All right, let's take this into our hammerhead after this. This is the kind of stuff you'll teach somebody who wants to come to the bed and breakfast, the Sky Country Lodge. That changed the course of the war in early 1942. That is the B-25 Mitchell bomber. Tripled our fleet and brought us into World War II. The next day, our President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, in front of Congress and with their approval, declared war on Germany and Japan. It brought us into a 4-year conflict that would cost 1 million or more American lives, and 16 million Americans would serve in that combat, and millions more here at home. And that plan to attack Japan would involve types of military. The B-25 inbound once again became the mission against which all other air missions had been measured, because it broke the Japanese feeling of invincibility. And even at that early point in World War II, in April of 1942, shortly after we were brought into the war by that attack on Pearl Harbor, the strategic engine, Corsair, take a look and listen. What a sound. To have North American aviation in a way that it was never intended to be flown. Powered by two 450 horsepower Pratt & Whitney radial engines. Matt Youngkin now has flown dozens and dozens of different types of aircraft. As a matter of fact, over 80, from the Piper J3 Cub all the way up to the B-29 Super Fortress. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's watch and listen to the graceful flying of Matt Youngkin. Throttle, not the stick. Pull back on the throttle. We'll get you some paperwork, okay? Grandpa got you. He got you. He did. He wants to get you down too. He doesn't want. He'd rather see you land quickly than fly off into the sunset and never return. Yeah, Charlie and the MTA, but we want you, Mr. Cleaver, to land the airplane now. I want you to turn left with those pedals. I want you to gently let the stick go forward and pull back on that throttle in your left hand up there on the left.
Hey, you want? Bring that pickup truck out. I can land. I can put anything on the pickup truck.
All right, well, it's on the way. I think Grandpa has gone out there for you, and also your son, Clem Jr. Okay, well, see what you can do there. And I think probably by now, everybody, I'll let everybody know that it's actually Greg Coots up there. Greg, you're looking awesome, partner.
Me, that crazy guy that was in the red airplane?
One and the same. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Greg Coots. Clem Cleaver. Now, you really are going to try something important, aren't you?
We're going to try landing that pickup truck for real.
All right. Why don't you do a little more aerobatics? And looks like they're down there at the end of the runway, runway 23. Why don't you head down that way and see if you can put it down on there?
Go, give it a try. All right, now this is not easy, Rob. This is a
Side, match the speed of the airplane and slowly bring himself over the deck. And what he's going to do is get both wheels on the deck if he can, and then he will slide forward, attempting to get both of those wheels in the wheel wells, and then they'll lock them down if possible. That's the attempt we're looking for. Missed on the first one. Let's see if he can do it again. Go for another one there, Greg. Delivering excellence to its government and commercial trucking clients across the globe, excellence to our community and to our country, Vanquish is proud to be the premier sponsor of the Smoky Mountain Air Show and support Honor Air Knoxville and its mission to honor the brave men and women. As he's outside the airplane waving at all of you. GKAirshows.com. Way to go, Greg. Fighting Falcon. Watch as Major Baker traces a burst of Stephen Reagan to the foul.
approaches show left. Major Breaker will set up for a series of maneuvers which will demonstrate the F-16's ability to turn tight and stay unpredictable, a trait which helps the Viper survive against low altitude threats, then quickly transition from the horizontal fight into the vertical. Ladies and gentlemen, from your left, it is the Falcon turn followed by the Shark's tube. Maneuver we proudly call the rocket launch.
And the Tuskegee Airmen proved it. They became one of the most successful groups of pilots in all of World War II. High above, as stand music comes down the backside of the loop. Initially, the Tuskegee Airmen were not allowed to escort bombers and were sent on low-priority missions, strafing targets on the ground. These types of missions kept them from finding enemy aircraft and scoring victories against the enemy, a further effort to prove they could not do the job. But look at the Mustang again. You can see the minimal front area of the P-51, which gave it its great speed. KC-135R Strata Tanker. Now we're going to go live to the cockpit and say hello to Mark and Brad and Amanda. Mark, Brad, are you there with me?
How are you guys doing?
We are doing awesome, and the airplane looks awesome overhead. Ladies and gentlemen, you can hear you. Give them a round of applause. They're your local guardsmen. Hear that, guys?
Oh, yeah, sounds great.
Well, we are pleased to have you come overhead, and I guess the two of you are up front with. In order to make a landing gear long enough and strong enough and light enough to prevent the propeller tips from slamming into those wooden deck straight carriers in World War II, they couldn't just have a landing gear that came straight down out of the wing, otherwise it had been too heavy. So they took advantage of a very interesting principle that says, an aerodynamic principle that says if you take something 90 degrees off the surface from which it's connected, you gain some aerodynamic pluses. And so the Chance Vought designers bent the wing down, extended a short enough and long enough and light enough landing gear from that low point on the wing and then bent it back up. It was called the Bent Wing Bird. Manufactured in great numbers by Chance Vought, it was also manufactured by the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company and also Brewster Aircraft. And this aircraft served just a moment.
I do. Yeah.
In the Legend Cup. And now he's going to land, and now he's going to take it back to parking. Ladies and gentlemen, the shortest act in the air show business, the car truck, take off as he disappears down below in a drainage ditch. Let's see if he comes up with any pond scum on the tires. The aircraft on the outpost position, Jimmy Fordham from Monroe, Louisiana, will slide into the slot position, and they will show us the diamond formation. And that, the smoke is on. I present to you the Aeroshell Aerobatic Team, and here they are. Of choosing the right altitude, the right attitude. The responsibility of the wingman. Signature maneuver. Cameras on, ladies and gentlemen. Here comes the Aeroshell Aerobatic Team setting up for the downward bomb burst. In just a moment, he will call for smoke on now. Here it comes. Watch him break. This is the first. Beautiful. From the left and from the right. Come over the top. Roll their aircraft upright and close at over 320 miles per hour to see. Now as they head out to the backstretch, look high and to the right. Team lead, Mark Henry. Jimmy Fordham turn on the smoke, and they set up to do a high-speed stall at the top of this loop. It's a 5,500-pound airplane. Pull hard on the stick, kick a rudder, stall one wing, and the airplane snaps around like a mousetrap. And they do. Double hearts in the sky. They've been flying for over 30 years, and they rely on aerosol. The Sky Raider, the Grumman TBM, the Boeing B-17 Heavy Bomber, and many, many more. Brian Reagan, the right wing, dreamed of flying for most of his 14, taught by his dad, and by the time he was 18, finger four formation. Watch Jimmy Fordham move from there and into the Aeroshell transition finger formation. accrued over 21,000 hours of flight time.
Jeez.
He's captained with a major airline for over 30 years. Let's watch him as they come back in here. 600 horsepower in each of these Pratt & Whitney radial engines. That growl you hear isn't just the sound of the engines, but it's the sound of the propeller tips going supersonic at about 2,250 revolutions per minute. Those are mini sonic booms. Oh, Sky! Thanks, man! This is awesome! As we hear the sound of the motors, the sound of the propellers, we see the sight of the smoke, and these World War II trainers continuing to live and thrive and relive history some 70 years later. The airplane first flew in 1938, so we are approaching 80 years of life from the North American Texan trainers. They also want to thank ACF 50, Covington Engines, communications can be more reliable all the time. Thank you, PS Engineering. Also thanks to SkyTech, to Genesis Autopilots, to LP Plastics, Revere Supply, Tradeplane, JVC, JPI Instruments, and Aerospace Cardiology. This is the maintaining all the way around. Gear, which means they're going to come in. I did mention this earlier, but the smoke used by Aeroshell and the other performers here is an environmentally safe oil, and there are places we go where we have mosquito problems, and this kind of stuff really keeps the mosquitoes down. It's a paraffin-based oil that's injected into the exhaust stacks, and it gives us this very, very white smoke that today is hanging and we're having some difficulty seeing, but these guys are getting lined up on the runway without any difficulty at all. To do the turn, the NASCAR burnout at Aeroshell Speed of Smell. Everybody give a big round of applause. On the left, Mark Henley, then Brian Reagan, then Steve Gustafson, and number 4, Dale and Charlie, getting ready to stand up and clearing the smoke, none other than Jimmy Fordham.
Go down Point Cool, mama, both mother and daughter, working for the Yankee dollar. The sun shines on today.
The Blue Angels!
It was designed as a tactical transport, capable of lifting heavy payloads both into and out of short or unimproved airstrips, as well as providing aerial delivery. The aircraft is powered by 4 Rolls-Royce turboprop engines producing more than 18,000 shaft horsepower, enabling takeoffs on runways as short as 2,500 feet.
Once upon a young year, when all our shadows disappeared, the
100 feet at airspeeds approaching 300 miles per hour. From the right, the Fat Albert Parade Pass. Flying Blue Angel number 6, the opposing solo from Durango, Colorado, Captain Jeff Coos. Having secured their engines, the pilots will simultaneously exit the aircraft on signal from Commander Bernanke. It has been an honor and our pleasure to perform for you here at Knoxville. This, our 8th flight demonstration of the 2016 season.
Two of them flying from Illinois, this is incredible. Central and Southern. Did Air Force Base make Carbondale?
Did we get there?
Yeah, I know the Schnoot is like Bloomington, normal. That's just probably where he's from, his name is served here. I think I did.
I go good. Oh, yeah.
Most people are heading out.
Ladies and gentlemen, flying Blue Angel number 6, the opposing solo from Durango, Colorado, Captain Jeff Coos. Flying Blue Angel number 5, the lead solo from Bloomington, Illinois, Lieutenant Ryan Chamberlain. Flying Blue Angel number 4, the slot pilot from Sedan, Kansas, Lieutenant Andy Talbot. Flying Blue Angel number 3, the left wingman from McPherson, Kansas, Lieutenant Lance Benson. Flying Blue Angel number 2, the right wingman from Honolulu, Hawaii, Lieutenant Matt Siderhound. Flying Blue Angel number 1, the commanding officer and flight leader of the Blue Angels from Los Altos, California, Commander Ryan Bernanke. Representing your United States Navy and Marine Corps, the Blue Angels 2016.
Ladies and gentlemen, keep it going for the Blue Angels!